So, these guys showed up at a perfect time.
It wasn't my fault. I promise.
He says it
I
wasn't
didn't
his
do
fault. I was coming up here and I was like, man, the fuel filter's getting plugged. Not running very good. Okay, I'm gonna just turn the corner and stop. Well, I turned the corner and it just died on me. I got a massive fuel leak and it's just puking fuel out of the injection pump. That was rebuilt a few years ago, but it ain't moving. It's not going anywhere, so we're gonna have to. The sucky thing is this thing's hot. So I've been cranking it over, let it get some air movement in the pistons, let it sit, crank it over a little bit, and I'm gonna just do that a few times. But my only option I can think of is I gotta pull that injection pump off. And I have an injection pump from a KT 450, and I could put that on here and hopefully that runs. And that's set at 450 horse, this is set at 600 horse. But that thing there, it's probably gonna have to be taken down to a pump shop and gone through again. That's not looking good. So this tractor's down for a little bit. That's why you always have to have a spare, Big Bud. Because, well, these things like to break a little bit. Okay, there we go. Give it a little bit of time. All right, well, stay tuned. All right, I'm driving back in my pickup to the shop, and I'm gonna call Nick and give him the heads up what's going on so he can hear what the deal is. He's out spraying right now. All right.
Hello?
Hey Nick, you got a copy?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 600 Big Bud is down right now. It's not running.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Basically, what happened is I stopped in the middle of the field, and there was a plug cartridge, so I cleaned that out real quick. Got back in the tractor, started going. Felt pretty sluggish, and then I couldn't even hardly pull third gear, so I jumped down to second. Wouldn't even hardly pull that, and finally got to the end of the field, and I turned the corner, and it just died on me. I was like, oh, that's not good.
Okay.
I thought it was a fuel filter, but it was like, well, that can't be right. So then I get out, and the whole side of the engine's just covered in fuel. So then we cranked it over a little bit. The ready guys are here, and so then I started looking at it, and it's somewhere tucked inside the injection pump where you can't see. Either a gasket blew out, or there's a cracked housing of some sort. So here's my solution. We've got the old KT 450 engine in the building. That's got the same exact injection pump. It's just set at 450 horsepower. So my plan is I'm gonna go grab that. It's in a bucket. I'm gonna take it to the bench, look it over, and then grab tools and swap it out, and then see if that'll get this tractor going.
You need help with that?
I don't know. I mean, well, I think I should be fine. But you gotta keep doing what you're doing. You're spraying, and that'll be good for me. So,
Okay.
but yeah.
All right. Wow. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just kind of a weird thing that just happened. But
well, that'll be interesting to get that other 12 horse. That'd be nice.
right, yeah, it's but I don't think that where it's leaking on this one, I'm not cracking it open because who knows what's inside there, and I don't want to tamper with something I shouldn't. Anyways, that's the gist of it. Heading back to the shop now. I figured I'd give you a heads up.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. I'll see you later.
Okay, appreciate it, Nick. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Well, there we go. Yep, alright, so this is the deal. We're gonna go find some used parts. And we're gonna make this thing run again, because I have faith that this other injection pump, it'll be fine. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what's wrong with the other injection pump? Well, the old other engine basically ran out of oil because it blew oil line, I think, and I didn't know, and it seized up on me when I was running it. No, it didn't blow a line. What it did is it blew all the oil into the coolant and mixed the coolant with the oil, and then it seized the motor. So that's when we put that versatile motor in that 5 1/4 bud, because that used to be a 450 KT. Well, so anyways, that's our parts motor. We got random pieces off of it that'll help us out in the future. All right, just hit the shop. I'm gonna pull in right now, and then let's go find that other injection pump, bring it over to the shop, and let's take a look at it and see what we can come up with.
Spray update. So I've got 2,100 acres of peas sprayed, so that's good. Got them all knocked out. There's a chance of rain tomorrow night. upwards of 3/10 if that happens. That would be money, because the pre-emergent that I put on the surface of the soil needs some water to activate it and push it down into the soil surface. So that would be awesome. 3/10 would be enough to get that down and lock it in so it doesn't disappear as the sun shines on it, the wind blows, and then the weeds grow. So that'd be awesome. I also have roughly, looks like about 1,600 acres of pre-spray ahead of the drills for wheat acres, and I got another 400 or so to go. So I'm gonna head back, we'll fill up again. If I get that knocked out, then, I mean, technically all the crop spraying or seeding spraying activity is done. So then next up for spraying would just be chem follow, which we've got a couple thousand acres of that needs done. And then eventually crop spray. So when the crop grows up, you gotta spray that, which would be winter wheat first, then probably peas, then probably spring wheat. And I hear a tractor's down from leg arms, so that's not good. So we'll see how that turns out. But anyways, keep farming.
All right, so this right here is the KT50, and it's right in that bucket back there. So here, you can take the camera. I'm going to crawl back in here. There we go. Got a little bit of weight to it. There's the injection pump. We'll see. Crack it open, take a look at it, see what it looks like. If it looks decent enough, I'll swap it out. I just hope it's not full of rust. Huh. Rust never happens in this country. We don't have salt.
We can help you with that.
We can help you. Do you have a stainless steel injection pump?
Might be able to find you one.
He might. That'd be a custom built one. I don't know how that would work. It'd probably work okay. But anyways, let's take a look at it on the bench. This is why you don't want to just throw stuff out. Okay, just a bunch of screws. I don't need that gasket because I've already used that one. Here we go. Where are the other ones leaking? It's tucked up inside here. Right inside. Right in there. And that's going to be a difficult place to try to get it cracked open, and I don't want to tamper with it. So what I'm going to do here, I have these ports capped, which is good. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, grab a bunch of tools, head up there, and we'll swap this thing out. All right, now that I got this thing cleaned up, I'm rotating with my hands and it's not jammed up inside, which is good. If it was like solid, I'd be like, okay, this thing's no good because it's probably rusty in there, but it looks good. I've had it in the bucket for a couple years and I think we're good to go. So I need to round up a bunch of tools. There's a special Cummins tool that is required to take off the injection pump because it's a sucky place to get at. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So I made one real quick. I didn't want to buy it. So I'm gonna need these here. You know, I need a box. So I don't know how many tools I'm gonna use, or a bucket. That's what I need, is I need a bucket. Here's a nice, oh, it's ready bucket. All right, we'll use this one. So in order to change lines, I need a couple of these special wrenches. I love them. Need that. Let's bring this over here. And I'm gonna bring so many tools to that I don't know what I'm gonna do with, because I probably need them all, but there's always that chance that I need one. Okay, I'll take this. All right, so let's grab this. Injection pump going in the box. This is the third time I'm pulling the injection pump off that engine. It's just how things go. All right, that's in there. Let's go get the injection pump. And then let's go up there and see if we can get that bud to run. I got faith in it. We're gonna set that baby back a few horses. Don't do the 600 horsepower stuff. We can do everything just fine with 450. I know it. It's about 5 miles up there, so I'd like to get everything I need and more to run up there Because if I need one thing, I got to run back here. So it's technically 10 miles round trip. So I'd like to get this fixed the first time without making multiple trips. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the back of this pickup bed as a platform to stand on. So I'm going to back this thing right up into the tire of the tractor. And if I'm a little lucky, I might be able to push this tractor around and get some acres seeded. Alright, there we go, perfect. Got a little nudge to it. So let's see what we can come up with. Oops. Now, before I do anything, I need to shut the fuel off down here. Best way for me to do this is crawl underneath the tractor. There's a main valve here that, oh, that's dusty. Got some stuff in my eye. Okay, and then let's get up there and change this thing. There's my leak, right here. I was hearing a leak. I haven't had very good AC in this tractor. Found it. All right, that's good to know. All right, I got this injection pump off. So this is a 600. This is the KT 450. So basically what I got to do on this is I got to remove the fuel suction fitting, put it on this one because they're different. Take off this line, put that line on, put the tachometer. I'm going to see if I can get that off and put this on here, and then clean up the surface, bolt this on and see what happens. So I am running into a slight problem. These fittings here, they should just unscrew, which they will, but I got to take this plate here off on both of them to get this fitting off because they won't screw all the way out. I might have to run back to the shop and do that. I think I'm gonna have to. I need to just stuff some rags in here to try to stop any debris and junk from getting in there. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, I think I got it taken care of. Managed to swap those fittings around. I had to take a little, I don't know what it's for, but it's like some kind of diaphragm setup. But took that off, changed the fittings, changed a few other things, and I think we're good to go. So I'm gonna run back up. Let's try to put this thing on there and let's get this thing going. Because we need it going. It's already cost us about 3-4 hours of downtime, but we also had some visitors, so those 3 to 4 hours of downtime wasn't just messing with this injection pump. So, but it's still 3 to 4 hours of downtime. We're getting there. So I'll run back up there and I'll try to work my magic and go from there. Yeah.
All right. I just wrapped up the last of the pre-spray. All the peas are sprayed, all the acres are sprayed that we're gonna seed this year. Chem fall's gonna be done in a little bit, but I think I'm gonna wait a few days on that. All right, let's go see if Legrams needs help with that injection pump on that tractor. I don't know. That's not a good deal if that thing's leaking everywhere, so let's see if we can get that fixed. Oh, it feels good to be done spraying. All right. More to do.
All right, moment of truth. I got the injection pump on. Not a pretty job, but let's try this thing. Wow, that didn't take long. There we go. Look at that. It's running. Good. Now it's got air in the system, so it's going to take a little bit for it to try to clean it out, but oh, it even revs up a little bit. That's awesome. We are good to go. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's working. Isn't that something? That pump has been sitting in a bucket for like a lot of years, and well, now it's going to be used. Now my throttle isn't set correctly. There's an adjustment arm on the side of the injection pump that I had to take off the other one. So what I have it set at is full throttle on this is actually 1900, and to adjust that I got to loosen it up and then pull it tighter. But you know what? It's running, and we're going the right speed at full throttle at third gear. So, well, not full throttle, 1900, and that's perfect. So let's just keep going. That's why you keep spare parts everywhere. Don't throw anything out. Even if it sits there for 50 years and your grandkids look at it and they're like, we should probably throw this out. Don't throw it out, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I throw out stuff a lot, actually, a lot. But there's a lot of things I don't throw out. Like, I knew the value of this injection pump, I didn't throw it out. So, anyways, we're good. We're going.
Master at work. I come up here and it's running. Can't believe he got that old injection pump. So he had to do a little bit of modifying, but he got it on there, and that pump was set at 450 horsepower, because that's what that old KT, not KTA, KT engine that thing was on from the old Series 2 that we have that's now a 525. It's obviously got enough ponies to pull it, so we're good. So that'll get us through the season. We'll get the other pump sent off and find out what's wrong with it. I don't know, who knows? I haven't looked at it yet, but that's nice to have a spare on the shelf. That's a good fix. But listening to that engine makes me a little bit giddy inside, because I can't wait to hear that KTTA snorting, the compound turbos on and everything. I'm really curious what that baby sounds like. And the muffler we got picked out for it, I don't know. I hope it sounds awesome. I can't wait to drive that thing soon, guys. We're gonna get her going soon. Somewhere in this field there is a monster rock. I am not strong enough to lift that thing in the back of this pickup, but I'd love to get it out of this field. I think it's right there. Let's see, is that it? No, there's a ditch. This snow flashed this spring and cut ditches in our fields again. It's always nice when it does that. All right, yep, that's it. That's the rock. Oh man, I don't have a rope either. I can try to tie a rope around and pull it off, but yeah, that thing's a good 250 pounds, 300 pounds. There's no way. I can try rolling it. Yeah. Yeah. I need a rope. Oh yeah. Whew. She's a big one. Look at that thing. It's been there for a couple years because we keep forgetting to get it. I just don't have anything back here. All right, well, I'll remember to get it next year. No scene today, but this is great. Great, because moisture's adding up. I hope we get 3/10 like they're saying. I know it's just like nothing to a lot of you guys, but 3/10 is enough to push that fertilizer we've been having spreading down a little further, and all that pre-emergent that I put down on the pea ground, this helps tie it into the soil so it doesn't volatilize, disappear like money just floating into the sky when the sun shines on it and whatever else. So this is good. Hope it keeps doing this all day long. I wouldn't mind taking 2 days off from seeding. Just fine. It's fine. Bring the moisture. We want it. Bring it. But I'm in the shop today. My old computer, his computer, a little bit of sentimental value to that computer. I'll tell you why. I built that computer, I think, in 2012. It's old. It's been our shop computer for a while now. And that computer rendered the very first Welker Farms videos ever put on the channel. That computer did the 100 Years of Montana Farming tribute, and it did the Big Bud videos. It did a lot of them before I eventually built another computer in 19, I believe. And so I built a new computer for the shop. That one's not going to be doing any video editing anymore. This one's not going to be doing any video editing anymore, but it's just a real basic budget computer for the shop. But this one was getting to the point where you couldn't hardly play videos anymore. It was just that old. So I think Legarden is going to take it. That old FXF 6950 or something like that in it. With the Athlon, not an Athlon, it's the, Athlon 8850. Is that what it is? It's the bulldozer. It was bulldozer, whatever the bulldozer CPU was. That got really hot and didn't perform nearly as well as they hoped it would have. Yeah, that's what's in there. Finally got the new computer set up, and it is getting better out here. I'm liking this, except for after getting a load of water for the house, but it is getting better. Keep it coming. Good stuff. Oh, life of a shop computer.